switched things around, and now we're on the desktop of Steve's desktop. So hopefully no more glitches. So let me know if y'all can see me. If you can't see me, let me know.
Take 3, take 4.
This is like take 5 now, I swear. All right, so I have KI4KWR here with me. And we're in his ham shack.
Of course, we don't see it.
No, because where the camera's at. It's all right, though. I'll take pictures later and I'll post it for y'all. Does that make y'all feel happy? Probably do, right?
So what brings you into my realm?
Well, you invited me over earlier to sit in on a club that you had down in Orlando call that you did a presentation on for young hams. So I found it very interesting. And there were some good ideas there on bringing young people into it. I'm still working on my kid, though. He's not totally set in stone yet, but I'm working on him.
DixieDX, not doing her job, guys and gals. Good evening, Greg, from Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Hi.
So, you're just a technician. When will you go general on us?
Well, I'm looking at September, Steve. I really am looking at September.
You know, we do testing every month here in the Tennessee Valley.
I know. I've been studying, and I'm not quite there yet. I don't feel confident yet.
Is it just the test, the questions?
It's the questions. The last test, the tech, you know, it was, the struggle was real, Steve. The struggle was real, okay? I don't do very well testing. It runs in my family.
I administered the test, everybody. I know.
Yeah.
We won't publicize what the score was, but it was close.
It was very close. It was very close, but it's okay. I had only, and I feel very good about that. It was like 2 weeks.
What is making you want to become a general?
My dad was actually a general. He went and took his tech, and then he studied for his general, and then he went and took his general, and he had his general.
So following in daddy's shoes.
Always. I'm a daddy's girl.
True story.
Very true. Very true.
But why? Besides dad, why?
He was bugging me about it all the time. And I was sitting there and I was getting my degree in business administration, and he bugged me about it. That man bugged me. He wanted, you know, my younger sister, she was into guns, so they went and shot guns all the time at Swan Creek. And, you know, I used to play softball, so he used to be my softball coach. He used to be my basketball coach. Have anything left in common. He wanted something in common, and I was just stubborn. And I was like, I don't want that, Dad. You know how it is.
But I'm in the hobby.
I know you're in the hobby. You gotta look from my standpoint, though. I was like, Dad, you're just like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs there for a little bit. But then I understood it after a while. He sat down and talked to me about it. He goes, well, you know, I'm in this prep and stuff, and one day your cell phone is not going to work, and the only thing that's going to work is these radios.
He's got a point. I will agree with him. You know, one thing that, you know, everybody listening out there, I want to say this right so it doesn't come out and make people angry. Ham radio is very vital in the emergency case. And down here, we're in Tornado Alley. Where I was born and raised, it's hurricanes. Without amateur radio, I don't know what the public service would do in the Northeast. You know, going through Hurricane Sandy, Hurricane Isabel, Hurricane Andrew. That's what got me really involved, was Hurricane Andrew in the late 90s. You know, I got my license in 2005 while I was active duty in the Navy as a radioman, so I was already doing radios.
Right.
But doing the amateur radio side with Hurricane Isabel, the tropical storms, Hurricane Sandy, it becomes very vital, especially when you can talk to on HF. You can talk National Hurricane Center, your local EMA, the state EMA, FEMA, and everybody can talk together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of the big things that ARRL does push to everybody is stay alive, know the hobby, work the hobby.
Mm-hmm.
And will there always be hurdles in an emergency? Absolutely. Will things go right? No. It doesn't go right every day.
No.
But when the EMA is relying on amateur radio to get the message out there, it speaks words. And too many rely on these trusty old phones.
Yeah.
Phones.
I know that when the tornadoes came through, I was staying with my dad in Decatur, and I went over there after when the tornadoes were coming through, and we didn't have any power for days. So, you know, I think that's also what set him off on the whole prepping part, because before he wasn't into that. He was all over the place with telescopes, trains, guns, and knives, and all sorts of things. So that really got him into doing that. So I think that's, and his buddy Doc, that was something that they did together as friends. Doc was big on prepping, so after that it was him, but it's all right, and do it with him. But, you know, it's just one of those things that I'm able to do now. Counts. Better late than never.
True.
So, and I remember going to like all the way to Priceville to get ice and all that kind of stuff, and no power. So cell phones didn't really work. Everything was down. So it was really hard to communicate with anybody.
I think one thing that you will see in this hobby more and more once you get more involved is, I think it's a regional thing. Maybe not. CERT, Community Emergency Response Team, is something that, you know, you take care of yourself, everybody, but you can't rely on them going to be coming at the time of need.
Gotcha.
And when you can take care of yourself, nothing wrong with being a prepper. Am I a prepper? Yes, we're in my shack, AKA the garage. There's a generator. We got plenty of food, water, MREs. Yeah, I can't live without my MREs, everybody. But you have to plan for the worst. We could go to bed tonight and wake up tomorrow to devastation from a tornado.
Exactly.
You know, hurricane, anything. And I pick on you because you have this trusty little ID51.
I know, you pick on me all the time. You send me messages and you're like, when are you going to get something better?
There's nothing wrong with this. I own one too. But with HF, you know, I've been poking on you lately on, you know, getting your general ticket, because HF gets you out talking off the repeaters and around the world.
Right.
I mean, some people, all they want to do is rag chew. Hopefully you've learned by now what rag chewing is.
I have. I've listened to it several different conversations, and I just sit there and listen to it, and I don't even chime in, because half the time I have no idea what these guys are talking about. The other night I was listening to them rag chew about something down in Montgomery, some chicken place off in the boondocks somewhere. You take a left somewhere, you go to the stop sign that comes to a fork, you go to the right. I don't even know. I couldn't even remember to tell you. Can't even tell you what the name of the place was, but apparently it's got good chicken.
We gotta check that out.
Well, we gotta find out where it's at first.
One of the big things in this hobby, and why I've been really pushing you, you know, is if the repeaters are down, HF is your next option.
Right. You
can still do VHF and UHF if you have a, you know, beam or Yagi type antenna. But with HF, a wire in the tree gets you on the air. A vertical gets you on the air. A flagpole antenna, for those that, you know, desire or live in an HOA.
That's where
That's
I'm
an
going to
option.
be living. That's where I'm going to be living at, an HOA.
So, you know, you have many options of antennas. Now, we cross our fingers that you can put a flagpole antenna up. If not, we're going to be stealthy and we're going to put something up, people.
You're going to help me with that, right, Steve?
Absolutely. Because we are going to get you on the air.
All right.
You know, the thing is, you know, we go back to the whole rag chewing. You have contesting. You got people that like to DX and just chase for countries.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, I could be wrong with the number, but it's 340 countries out there that you can get. I'm just being in Alabama now for a year and a half. I've already worked 146 countries. I'm close to halfway there. Even in the bottom of this solar cycle, which another thing you have to learn.
Exactly.
The solar cycle.
No idea.
No idea.
I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out.
Light up the rain gutters. It's possible. You know, I'm sure you've heard that and you know, from others.
Yes. I haven't heard the rain gutters part yet. I've heard flagpole. I've heard somebody taking a bunch of the antennas and just throwing them out there on the ground and staking them down and blending them with the grass. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've heard about all that, but my question about that was, how are you expected to mow over that? You gonna take it up every time? If
it wasn't dark outside here in Alabama, I would show you where my radials were. I know where they are because I just buried them, but my radials are only anywhere from 3 to 6 inches in the ground. So a lot of people will say do it in the winter while the ground is frozen. You know, take your edger or a shovel, stomp them in the ground, let the grass overgrow it for your radials. Coax, I don't know. I've got 1/2-inch hard line in the yard. So if I hit the 1/2-inch hard line, 1, I'm going to hate myself because it's not cheap. 2, if I can't see it and I run over it, it's my own fault.
Gotcha.
That goes back to the same sense of use quality coax. Now, I've said this to many people at Hamfests and conventions and even at the store. And I'm going to ask you, what is the most important piece in your setup?
Your coax cable?
That's one of the pieces. But how does your signal get out?
Your antenna.
So what's your most important piece?
Antenna.
It doesn't matter. And it's like a fighting battle with the older generation. Oh, it's the radio. Okay, I've got a 7300 and a 9700 sitting here, everybody. And it doesn't matter that I have Icon's latest and greatest Cat Daddy radios. If I don't have a good antenna and good coax, is my signal going to get out?
No.
No. And sometimes they look at you and go, he's right. But they're still going to be stubborn and go, no, it's the radio. So my point to you on that topic is, don't go stingy on your antenna and coax.
Duly noted.
And I shake my head, everybody, but we have had people come to the store and at Hamfest that we attend asking for RG58. That's CB coax.
See, I didn't even know what that was.
It's very thin coax.
Oh, okay.
Has a big loss. Mm-hmm. Another thing you need to learn in your adventure here.
Yes, gain and
dB loss.
Exactly.
And the thing with amateur radio is you can make that antenna out of simple wire laying around your house. You could take an old wire hanger and turn it into a 2-meter antenna.
I don't have any wire hangers. Can I borrow one of yours?
I don't have any. Ever since Mommy Dearest came out in the 80s, no wire hangers.
I can understand that.
What are you trying to gain as DixieDX?
What am I trying to gain? A new perspective out there for everybody, because I sat down and I ran through the whole YouTube channel things, and I saw ham radio crash course, ham radio concepts, ham radio 2.0. And I just, I felt like it needed a woman's touch.
Okay.
So to speak, because y'all can sit here and talk all day long. We don't understand what you are saying. But as girls, we can talk to each other and we completely understand what we are all talking about. And guys are the same way with guys. I mean, it's just like a different language. It's like, and I noticed that there's not a lot of women out there on YouTube. I don't know if it's because they're not sure about how to go about it or anything like that. So I just wanted to bring fresh eyes, fresh perspective, and have everybody like go along my journey with me. I probably should have started back when I was getting my tech and started that way, but it's okay. We're going on my general, so I'm learning my general right now.
So one of your goals is getting the female perspective and getting females involved?
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to get my 2 boys involved, but right now they're too busy in Fortnite. But it's okay.
And cell phones.
And cell phones. And Nintendo Switch with Fortnite. And Xbox with Fortnite. I mean, it's crazy.
As you heard in my presentation with the Orlando Club tonight, the struggle I see with youth in the hobby is electronics.
Exactly. If it's not fun, if it's not a game, they don't want to do it. And the only way you're going to get them to do it is if you make it fun and make it into a game. So,
which, don't get me wrong, is possible. And I think that's the struggle that we, the current ham radios and world have. You got the Youth on the Air group here in the U.S. They're doing a camping next year in 2021 in Cincinnati. Then you have the Yoda group, which is Youth on the Air. I mean, we had a girl, Faith Hannah. I forget, she's changed her call sign since then, but it used to be AE4FH from Florida, and she went to South Africa for I think 2 to 3 weeks and represented the U.S. This year, I think it was Croatia. That's where it was. Croatia. So they're trying to get the youth, and every country has representatives. So it's not just Croatia and a few other countries. Every country tries to get youth to get involved.
Yeah. Because
it's our future, and not many people look at the big picture about this hobby, that the median age of this hobby is 65. So in 20, 25 years, our baby boomers are going to be silent keys. Yeah.
Because my dad passed away right before 65. So he passed away at 64. 2 months shy of his 65th birthday. So, yeah.
So it can, and the hobby, it has its pros and cons. Don't get me wrong. Every hobby has that. And a lot of hams say at a lot of DX dinners, conventions, and shows, oh, FT8, oh, digital, oh, that's not amateur radio, because they're used to sideband and Morse code. Right. They don't want to get involved with digital. Right. And eventually, we'll sit down here again and we'll do FT8, we'll do some PSK31, we'll do Morse code. We'll do a contest here soon. And it's amazing, I joke, and I've said it before to you, when you took your test last month, you kind of laughed, like you just chuckled there, and I said, we get you on HF, there's going to be a pileup. And you thought, oh, it's just going to be like 3 or 4 people like I get on, YouTube. Mm-mm. No. My YL, back when we did the 10-meter contest, and we just did the ARRL-DX contest a few months ago. It was hilarious when she was calling in her call sign and they heard a female voice. And I just walked away. I didn't help her. Just like, I'm not saying I refuse to help you.
Oh, no.
But you need to learn the hobby. And I think that's, one big thing.
We have some comments here. Let's see here. Somebody goes, please talk with my wife and get her involved. Her dad is a ham, but she wants nothing to do with it. Well, correct.
Okay. All right. I will respond to that very easily. Every September in Pigeon Forge, except for this year because of COVID, is the W4DXY convention.
Yeah.
I wish it didn't get canceled here a few weeks ago. It's amazing what you will learn in a little convention like that. And are there wives that are hams? Oh, yes. And they're not these, okay, yes, honey, I'll get my license. Right. Oh, no, they go on these little expeditions to Curacao, the Caribbean, because I don't think it's necessarily to support their husband, but they see how fun it is to chase a country, or, oh, there's a guy from Germany, or, oh, wait, another female on the radio. And hearing that conversation with my YL last September, talking to other wives in the hobby, they wouldn't shut up. They wouldn't.
What, the women wouldn't shut up?
They wouldn't shut up. They were talking about, what they did in this country when they were doing, or when they went on this little mini vacation and got on the air. Oh, I worked Germany, and as soon as I got on, I had a pileup. You put my husband on? Nothing. I was pulling them in.
Sounds like she was bragging a little bit there, Steve.
Yes.
Can you advise the best way to get started learning in preparation for testing if you do not have an advisor?
Best way, Shelby.
Shelby.
That is one thing that in this hobby, I'm trying to really. It's very hard when you don't have an Elmer, and I think some people can be hard-headed, and I'm not helping you, or you need to learn this on your own. Don't get me wrong, you're going to have questions, and I'm going to have answers. We're going to have answers, not just one person. There are so many study guides out there, and I got to be biased because there's so many. You got the ARRL books, W5YI, Ham Test Online. You've got these crash courses online. You even have Ham Cram.
Yeah.
Which, not against cramming a test in, but at the same time,
you need to understand it.
Yes.
And that's the key thing. That's the reason why when I took my tech, I studied and learned the answers. I didn't really study the questions, and I think the key point of everything is studying the questions. Because when I did my insurance test, that was a 40-hour course, 3-hour test, and you had to really pay attention to what the question was. Otherwise, you're going to miss it, and you had to understand that material. If you did not understand that material, you are not going to pass that test. Mm-hmm. And Shelby, back to the web tools. Actually, I downloaded for my tech. I downloaded HRE on my iPhone and just studied the questions. Since then, I've been using Ham Radio Prep online to study for my general, and their setup is similar to, I think, Gordon West book. And then you also have Ham Study, .com.org.
Not sure.
Not for sure, but it's Ham Study. So there's different ones out there, and there's a lot of free ones. And I think I went on the ARRL website at one point or something. I signed up for something. I'll have to go look. And I was able to actually download the questions, have the answer key, sit there and do the answer, take the test, and gave it to somebody else, one of my coworkers, to actually grade for me. So that's kind of helpful too, because you're not looking at the answer. So just go immediately give them the answers, close out the screen, and you got it there in front of you. So that's another way of testing yourself.
And don't get me wrong when I say this, go to ARRL and see where your local club is, because you don't have to be a member. And you going to them You might find somebody that's going to help you. And then it goes right to the ham fests. I will always tell everybody, you have to go to Dayton at least once in your life. It's not cheap, but you have to.
All right. No, the tech questions didn't change because it says it's 2019.
They changed. I get it all. Which one just changed? Extra just changed. So it would have been 2018 that the questions changed, because they kind of change in every 4 years. So if it wasn't 2018,
this one started 7/1/2018 and it goes to 6/30/2022.
So the
questions are still good.
Yeah, the question pool has been active now for 2 years. Yeah, like Kyle said, don't be afraid to, check out your local club. Yes, in our current situation, most of the clubs are doing Zoom meetings or some sort of virtual meetings.
Live feed went down, FYI. Oh, great. Can y'all still hear us, or is it black? Okay, it's paused. Do we have a glitch or something?
I don't know.
Still up here.
Good here. Okay.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Don. Yeah, Shelby, you can also take the test online. There's some clubs offering it online. You can look that up. I can send you that link as well.
I'm trying, while she's checking out, other stuff on her other computer here. Don't forget about, you've got Amateur Radio Roundtable every Tuesday. You have Ham Nation on Wednesdays, and everybody's got their own, opinion on, those shows. And don't get me wrong, I watch them the day after because I'm so busy usually here at night playing on ham radio. But that sometimes, especially Ham Nation, will spark your interest in the hobby and what's currently going on around not only the United States but around the world. So will you be here next weekend for the contest?
Yes.
Excuse me.
I will. I'll be off work too.
Well, if you're off work, you're going to be here.
Well, I know, but
can't do both at the same time.
I know I can't do both at the same time.
DixieDX people, DixieDX.
I mean, I'm just explaining that I don't have to work next Saturday. I have to work this Saturday.
Okay.
So I'm going to be catching the QSO Today's Ham Fest on Friday while I'm at work, sitting there making phone calls, and Saturday while I'm making phone calls.
Shelby, QSO Today. It's. I'm not going to bust on it, but I think a virtual ham fest, yes, I've got a lot of booths this weekend, but be one of those 21,000 people out there logging in. There's a lot of presenters, over 70 presenters. The booth count was quite extensive when I logged on today to make sure everything worked for us. Now the feed has stopped again.
Feed still good? Oh, yeah, it's going in and out.
Now it's good.
Oh, good now. No idea. So, Steve.
Tennessee weather.
It's Alabama weather.
Well, Tennessee Valley weather.
Yeah, that's it. So you were telling me about this antenna that you've got in a plant. What is it? He keeps bragging. He wants to brag all the time to me. That is totally cool.
This, for you HOA users, here, let me back up. Here we go. For you HOA users, will your HOA complain about something like this on your front porch or on your balcony? I don't think so. So what we did is we took a Diamond VX30A, took a piece of aluminum pipe with an elbow, run your coax up, hook it up here, put it back in the pipe, And I got my VHF, UHF in a pot. Now don't use the vine that's, got the metal. Use plastic, because of course that's gonna.
Where'd you find that at? Hobby Lobby?
Hobby Lobby.
I see that stuff at Hobby Lobby all the time. So.
And then what we did is we just took some of that fake moss and used expandable foam. Get everything in there, then spread some expandable foam and make it work.
I can do that.
She's trying to get this from me.
I tried. He won't give it to me. All right, so it seems like some feet's going in, some feet's going out. So I don't have really any more questions for you, Steve. You got anything else for me?
Get on the air. Get your general.
I've been on the air, Steve. I've been on the air. But not good enough, apparently, for you.
For those out there that don't realize how many repeaters we have here in the Huntsville area, the count, including ones that are down right now or closed, is 56.
I've been at least catching at least 4. I've been in Minotone. Somebody got on to me for saying Minotone, Mentone, whatever. I've caught them on that. I've caught, most of everything around here. So.
But I will say this, at least you're getting on the air, and you didn't get your license and just didn't do nothing.
Exactly.
So, anything else?
Not that I know of. Anybody else have any other questions? All right. So don't forget to subscribe, follow me, ask questions, and if I can't answer them, I'll get Steve.
Yep.
All right, so 73, W4DXY.
KI4KWR 73.
See you next time.